Welcome to Watkins Glen, a track where legends have danced with death, gearboxes have screamed in agony, and corners arrive faster than excuses after a crash. Tucked away in the leafy hills of upstate New York, this circuit is no playground. It's a fearsome blend of high-speed sweepers, brutal braking zones, and elevation changes that would terrify a mountain goat. This place has hosted Formula One, IndyCar, and now it plays host to something even more dangerous: us. This week, SVR rolls in with the super formulas. Land-bound missiles disguised as cars. They corner so fast they could rearrange your organs and still set a purple sector. Blink at the wrong time and you'll find yourself face first in the barriers, halfway to Canada. And just 1 week later, it's déjà vu, only louder and heavier. The GT3s return for their second round, tearing through the Glen like wild buffalo on race fuel. With their brutal power and ABS that kicks in like a bouncer at closing time, GT3 racing here is nothing short of glorious chaos. But behind every great race weekend is a convoy of champions. D'Alessi Transport keeps everything moving, whether it's freight, race gear, or enough caffeine to keep the stewards awake through night practice. Bokerstein isn't far behind, moving goods across Europe with more precision than most drivers manage through the bus stop chicane. If it's oversized or overcomplicated, Mega Transport is your answer. They're basically the heavy haul equivalent of a GT3 car, wide, powerful, and unstoppable once rolling. Then there's Jan Placht, transforming interiors like they're fitting new liveries. If wrapping kitchens was a motorsport, they'd be winning constructor titles. Brokaga runs logistics with artificial intelligence, smarter than some pit strategies we've seen lately. And trust us, that bar is low. And for those chasing lap time, there's Coach Dave Delta, handing out telemetry sheets like exam results. Brake 5 meters later, turn in half a degree sooner, he knows. And finally, there's Kimmy's nursery. While we're out here sim racing at 250 kilometers per hour, they're nurturing the next generation of racers. One snack, nap, and superhero band-aid at a time. Because let's be honest, every champion started out in a booster seat. This is round 2 of season 2. The Glen is ready, the drivers are focused, and the walls, they don't move, so you'd better brake on time.
Welcome, race fans, to Watkins Glen and the scene, of course, of the second round of our championship. My name is Webbo, here to enjoy the racing with you. I hope that you're ready for some fantastic racing with our top-tier S1 division drivers. Welcome to the stream live with us, everybody, each and every one of you, but especially to Pat and Biggerwood, who have already started tuning in. I've just been racing with them, but I won't give you any spoilers. Hi to Yank the Tank as well, who has managed to check in on top of presumably streaming all of his own stuff as well, which is awesome. Yeah, really looking forward to this one. This then is how things look in our S1 Drivers' Championship post Lago Maggiore, of course, the scene of our first race. Vader with the win and 19 points, and Arya close behind on 15. This is, of course, the finishing order from the previous race, which makes perfect sense. Beregoz in 3rd place with Vicinity in 4th. The Stig is 5th, and Balofay has 9 points, Solshock 8, Bedstein Mario QT. The Buckstein drivers Yank and Scavvy together on 5 and 4 points respectively, with Senior Dude, Jogon Sim, and Wogrizzle, who wasn't able to race with us in that first race. Kimmy's then the lead team by just a single point, ahead of Coach Dave and Mega Racing. Very close there, of course, at the top, with Jan Placht, D'Alessi, Buckstein, and Brokaga bringing up the rear at the moment. I hope everybody is looking forward to a really strong race today. I'm hoping to get everything running for you okay, but at the moment I do seem to have a slight problem with our AI bot Hector and his dashboard. I do seem to not be able to properly interact with him, strangely. But something's working there for me, so I'm just going to do my best to try and get this working for you before we get underway. Obviously, I don't want to let this situation detract from our race coverage itself, but of course we haven't got going just yet. So hopefully it will be okay. Let's see if I can try. I just don't seem to be able to interact with it at all. I will get it on screen for you. Here we go. We are able to see things properly now, so that's fantastic. Hopefully, you are looking forward to this one. Thanks to Beregoz for his changes. Thanks to Jogon Sim and to Guillemont for their work as well with the track map display and tracking all of our options for us. I hope that everybody is looking forward to this one. Excuse me for just needing to change a couple of things here. I've just realized we've got the wrong message on the screen, but yeah, we should be showing our fantastic Hector image on the middle and our race order for you. So let's just test out where everybody is on track. That should be lead driver Bolide Faye on track at least, currently in this practice session, and indeed it is. And he is ahead of Vader with Beregoz in the current positions. Just want to check that we haven't, in all of that chatting, managed to start. We haven't, in fact, started. Don't enter the race, Webbo. We wanted to spectate, not enter the race. Bolide Faye with his teammate Vicinity, just getting some training here on track at the moment for the mega team. Some training following each other through this bus stop. I have heard tales of drivers who've been able to go flat out through the bus stop in the Super Formula with their downforce settings, but it's not every lap in the race, and it's certainly not when you're following another driver or alongside a driver. So we definitely don't want to be having problems following each other too closely. Let's just check out, see if our stream is working for us. It is, which is fantastic. So we should be able to get Bolide Faye's view on live here. Let's try and improve the size of this window if I can for you. I think we can live with it just a little bit bigger, right? So let's just try and open that out for you. It may not hold when I change driver. That seems to be a bit of a pattern for me right now. But yeah, we're able to get a good view of things then for Bolide, or Ballo Faye, as he's known. Welcome to Kaisha de Pixels as well. I've just been training with him and racing with him as well. GG's for your race, Kaisha, and to AJ as well, cheering on Canada. So let me know, the rest of you who have not yet chimed in. Confirm that you are now a subscriber to SVR Racing, and you found your way to my channel when it's convenient to do so. And also, let's see if we can find Vader here on track currently. Now that's Soul Shock, so we may need to just refresh Hector here and try and make sure that the order is correct. So Vader in P4 currently. Here he is, and that is reading correctly for the Delesi team. As we try and make sure that everything is running properly for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the intro as well, and these new screen graphics. So let me know if sizing is good and everything works out. And I should have turned my VR helmet off as well, and that was a little collision with the wall. Now remember, with this start of qualifying, it looks like a race, but it's actually a very, very gentle start to the driver's early lap. They get 2 hot laps pretty much on the soft tyres only, and it is only about trying to get the fastest time in qualifying this one. So very important that the drivers don't push too hard. We'll have a look at Bolide Faye on track, shall we? He's both inset and main picture, so perhaps I will follow a different driver. We'll go with perhaps, let's choose Arya, shall we, in P4. And this is Arya on track. This isn't Arya. Arya drives for the Kimmy's racing team, so this appears to be a slight mistake. I'm not sure who we're riding with right now. Presumably it's Joe or the other Delesi teammate. We'll get there for you. No worries at all. I was hoping to try and get Arya here. It's Beregoz. So where is Arya on track? That's Soul Shock. Arya's quite a way back, actually. Let's stick with Beregoz in main inset then. It's got Stig in front of him. You are watching, that is Bolide Faye, who's got a clear track in front of him in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. So Yenk also reminding us to hit the like button as well, which is very kind of him. Let me know your predictions for this qualifying session. who will be able to set a good lap. Of course, it's just the outlaps happening right now. And you can see how gently our drivers are taking this because they want to make sure that they take this nice and carefully. The laps just simply don't want to the car just doesn't want to feature properly well for them. Unfortunately, I'm going to put the car info on screen as well because we do want to get a little bit of information here, and you can see the tyre wear starting to take effect already. I'm going to switch positions. I'm going to go back to Bolide in the lead, and then we will choose, I think, we'll go for someone, say Vader, championship leader, in the bottom right of screen. So hopefully you can make that one out nicely. And again, I think we can afford to go just a little bit bigger, can't we, on here. We don't necessarily need all the details of Vader's car information. I think we can blow that right up and get you the best view possible. So currently you can see Bolide on the Hector display on the left of screen is setting a purple second sector at the moment as he comes through. Hasn't held, but it looks to be a good lap so far anyway. It's difficult for me to watch the entire field, but just so you get every detail of our competing drivers here, and then I will give you the grid as soon as I have it and we start to stitch things together on track. But the order will set properly once we get to our first laps have been in. The order on your screen will look correct. So heading across the line then is the first lap for Bolide. He's on a 1:22.796. That's nice and quick for him, with Arya in second place overall. Let's change drivers, shall we? So we get a good look. I think Arya probably deserves some coverage here, and I think perhaps well, Vader's already had some, so I will perhaps choose Beregoz in set, and I'll try and find Arya on screen for you. Give me a second doing this. I know it looks terrible. There we go. It's Arya then. He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him. Has to push hard. He has to try and deal with any dirty air off the car in front. Remember, this is Watkins Glen, if you're unfamiliar. Do we know what the blue bars on Hector mean? I think that means personal best. I think that is coded to Gran Turismo colours, so I think that's what we've got. But yeah, we'll wait for Beregoz just to confirm that as and when. But yeah, we've had a whole bunch of changes, and I haven't necessarily been across every single one of them. But here we are with Arya on board, and he's going in towards the pit lane. Now, you've got to be careful because that wheel went over the pit lane entry, and I think that would be a penalty. They are incredibly strict here at Watkins Glen. Change of tyres going on for Arya. That means he'll have to do an outlap and another in-lap, and I think maybe our drivers are deciding that is the better option here, as everyone is now setting slower times, as you can see on your tower on screen, with the runs at the moment. Those soft tyres completely gone for our drivers. I should be watching Vader on screen and Arya on main view. Let's check out a Buckstein driver. This is Bolide. Sorry, this is Scavy, I should say, that we've got here. He's got a penalty on just for a minor transgression, I believe. So nothing too major for him. As Buckstein is cheering on the Buckstein guys. That's awesome from Chef. I think I've pronounced that correctly, but correct me if I'm wrong, of course. Welcome everyone who's joining us. We've got a huge audience already today, and I'm really pleased. I'll be absolutely made up if everyone says hello and declares their allegiances, who they're cheering on. If you find a new favourite today, do let me know as well. Remember, just another outlap for the drivers, trying to complete this in time for qualifying, and then they will go again. And you've got Vader in set. He's currently on pole position, a 1:22.264, and he's half a second faster. Again, though, the Buckstein driver just transgressing track limits slightly on the pit lane entry, I'm worried that our drivers will have problems doing that. This is Bolide Fay on track at the moment on our main screen. So these are the two head drivers in the field now on their fast laps, spamming that overtake button. I can tell that at the moment because I can see on my the name is Chef. No, I'm afraid I don't get it. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. This is qualifiers, AJ. Yep. Believe the position on the screen. It is qualifying. It's in a race format so that we can inspect every driver and that they haven't reset to pits or anything like that. Getting all over the curb on board then at the moment with Bolide Fay, but he's up. He's certainly setting a purple mini sector on this lap. Vader a little bit slower on the start of his lap. Now, has he left enough in the tyres? It looks like, though, Bolide losing a little on the way through that sector as we saw him mounting the curb. A difficult section of the track to come. Personal best, though, right now in the previous mini sector for Bolide. Vader has a lot of yellow on his lap, but has he saved enough tyres for the end? Looks like the car turning in beautifully into the final two corners then for Bolide, who stretches to the line. Can he get himself onto pole position as he goes across the line? Sadly not. No major improvement from him. And we'll check out whether Arya can do it or not as he comes to cross the line. Will he improve on his qualifying time? Sadly not, but Beregoz does. Beregoz into second place then. With a time just 1/4 of a second away from Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, who manages a 22.264. Beregoz just 1/4 of a second back, and Stig just a little bit further back from Beregoz there. Those are the intervals on screen, not the gaps to leader, as you can tell. So that's how things look right now anyway on the laps, as they've managed to burn off plenty of fuel here. That is Stig, who is presumably celebrating currently a really hot lap time, but it's Vader right now who is first on track and on pole position for this one. So Yank saying 22 Jump Sheet movie reference. My name is Jeff. Channing Tatum. Okay. Thank you for that. I do my best to avoid Channing Tatum movies, I have to say, I'm afraid. But qualifying times looks like it's going to be Vader on top from Beregoz, from Stig, with Bolide Fay and Arya somewhat lower down the order than perhaps any of us would be expecting here in 5th place. Cutie is in 2nd with Woe Grizzle. That's more like it. A no-show last race, but here he is in P7. Soulshock in 8th. Vicinity in 9th and Scavvy in 10th. Joe's in 11th. There was talk that Joe's found a decent amount of pace here in the car here around Watkins Glen, and then we've got I'm having a complete moment there and forgetting who Sen is on track. I do apologise. Let's have a look. It's we've got Wogra, we've got Bijan. I didn't mention Bijan earlier, so I'm wondering what has happened there. What has happened with Bijan? Because he's not showing on my screen, on my Hector. I wonder if he has not connected to Hector, but it's showing him as 3rd place on track, not in the order at the moment. That's Soulshock, that's Scavvy. I haven't seen Scavvy. He's in 10th, sorry, excuse me. There's QT in the gravel. It's Senor Dude, of course it is. It's Senor Dude. And then who is Zoo? I feel like I should know this. Thanks, Sparky and Biggerwood. You got it right. Who am I talking about here? Who is Zoo? The things. Is it? It's not Bijan by a different name, is it? I think it might be. I think that might be Bijan's gamer tag that is significantly different to his main name. But there is your results from qualifying then. This one, however, is just the drivers cooling down. We won't get any more out of them, I don't think, at this stage. So I hope everybody's doing well and looking forward to the race. I certainly am. And let me have your predictions. Can Vader hold on here with a much slender gap to second place than he had in the previous race, Lago Maggiore? This is a track with potentially, I would suggest, more jeopardy, with closer barriers and certainly a lot more aggressive curbing for the drivers. So yes, Bijan is at number 89 to Hizu. Thanks, Pat. That's super helpful. I thought I was just going crazy there. What a great up close look at the Bergstein Transport Service car we are enjoying here at Watkins Glen. And that then was your qualifying session. Remember, I can have a look at the results screen, but essentially what you'll be seeing is the positions on the Hector display. So the Hector display on your left should be correct for qualifying, and we are doing our level best then to trust Hector right now. I'm just going to check out we have got the correct number of drivers in the field. No, I don't think we have. As obviously Mario is spectating, or was for a second. I'm missing a driver in my list somehow. It is Mario. It's Mario that we were missing for Brokaga. So let's just see where did he manage to get to, because he should probably come through as BED on the list. I've just refreshed Hector. Can't see him at the moment, but I wonder, is he showing as second? Did he actually get second place? I don't think so. I think that's just results of the race to this point. Let's check out where he should be. So he didn't qualify. Okay, so he must have been late to qualifying, so he'll be back in the race. So hopefully we haven't got a problem then with Hector going. I will confirm everything for you, of course, as soon as possible. So yes, I hope everybody is doing well. Hector Matt with driver numbers is great, says Hands of Blue. It is fantastic, and it is all thanks to Beregoz, with the exception of the little track map on the top right, which is Joe and Gilly. The track map is terrific. Sorry, the Hector overlay is brilliant, and let's just hope everything works and stays working for the rest of the race. But don't worry if it fades off. I'm sure you guys will notice before I do even, and I can put the Gran Turismo overlays back on. But yeah, an in-house professional looking SVR limit. Just a big thank you to our sponsors, Delesi, Brokaga, Kimmy's Preschool, to Bergstein Transport Service, to Mega Transport. Fantastic, and of course to Coach Dave Academy. Really pleased to receive their support. None more so, of course, than Jan Placht Interiors, that are losing personnel resource as well as the support that they give us here on this stream. I've got the official starting grid, and just to confirm, it is Vader, ahead of Beregoz, Bolide, Arya, Stig, QT. Stig is out of position then. Certainly a 3-place grid penalty for Stig, so he will start P5, excuse me, on that one. QT with Soul Shock, Vicinity, Scavy, Wo Grizzle, Jogon Sim, Senor Dude, and Bijan at the back. But I think Bijan is reserving for us. Yeah, thanks to QT for getting that across to me unprompted, which is brilliant. So just bear in mind, Stig back 3 places from what it looks like on the screen right now. Yeah, so really hoping that the drivers can survive lap 1, get into that bus stop safely. And it's going to be a bit of a scrabble here as well. Tequila Monkey, I hope you can let me know that you are with me here. I will have a look, see if I can't give him a call, and then hopefully he can hear me at least, and I will turn off the ability for him to hear you. But if he gets dispatched, then you know that we've got a safety car coming. So I will just try and get into a call with him. Give me a second. Thank you for your continued patience. Very pleased that we can give you as much detail as we currently can here on the race. I should probably just be speaking as usual, and then hopefully I will get Tequila with the race. And we're getting ready then for the start of our race, and it looks like it's been It's been just changed again. That is the grid being built up for the drivers. A quick reminder, I guess, of the current standings. Here they are: Vader, Arya, Beregoz vicinity, the Stig, and Ballo Fate, the top 6, with Kimmy's, Coach Dave, and Team Mega, the top 3 in the team's standings. Of course, very early days in this very long session that we have for you, and looking forward then to seeing the safety car driver is on standby. I know that Tequila is standing by and ready. Beregoz saying never lift from Coach Dave. Again, I'm not 100% sure that that is official Coach Dave Academy coaching advice, but I'm sure you appreciate the sentiment. Yeah, looking forward then to seeing how our drivers get on. It looks like Tequila Monkey in the blue S1 branded Mercedes. And there he is, I think, actually even on track. There he is, indeed, coming out of the pits just to get the tyres warm and get prepared and ready for the race. You can see beautifully designed and liveried up for us. And you just get a really good close look at every sticker before Tequila manages to score them all off on the barriers there. He knows I was looking at him, so he tried to do a little bit of showboating. Now he's pressing the horn because he knows it really annoys me when we're racing together. But Tequila Monkey is navigating this one, trying to be the least safe safety car that is available currently. He should be a little bit better than this, used to driving the road cars and the GT3s for us. Don't forget, sometime during the midweek, hopefully we will get you the AN division and the S2 divisions over on my channel. Then we will get you the GT3s, the so-called S3 division. That was a very smooth little 360 from Tequila Monkey. If he'd stayed off the grass, it would have been absolutely perfect. And an unsafe rejoin potentially as well. But yes, next week, same time as this, you will get the S3 division, which is the GT3 lead division. I'm still petitioning that we call it G1 and G2 to properly name our divisions by their abilities, but yes, giving you some plenty of screen time just in case we don't see Tequila Monkey on track in the first few laps and we get an absolute melee of a setup, and then you will find on the official SVR playlist accessed directly from both my channel and the SVR Racing channel, you will find our entire back catalogue and, of course, every new race as they come up on the stream, as they come available. So Tequila Monkey heading back into the pits, drivers getting ready then to race, as Beregoz just those final preparations, really pushing it very hard coming out of the final corner. His mechanics will have winced seeing that on a warm-up lap. Would have been very concerned that he was about to cause some problems to start the race. Remember, just warming up now in between the qualifying and the race. A good look at Joe Gonsim here, who debuted in the GT3 races and then has come back to us here in the SF23 as well. 2-minute warning from QT. So we're nearly there for you. Tequila is definitely one of those do as I say, not as I do kind of people. Breo saying there is no S4 commentary from last week. There is, dude. Check out that playlist I was just talking about. It was released yesterday, Breo. So it is up and public and available to you to watch. So have a look for SVR S401 and you should find it one way or the other. I promise you it's there. It certainly was when I put it there yesterday. But yeah, we did get you that commentary, and thanks to everybody who donates to the league to help us produce everything for you. Now we just check that things are where they ought to be. S401 on the playlist, set to public. So just reassure me and Breo that they can that the race is live available from both my channel and the SVR channel on the official SVR playlist for us. No spoilers. Don't spoil it if he hasn't seen it yet, of course. Yeah, just verified that it is where it ought to be. And so we're getting ready for 42 laps around Watkins Glen. It's a little bit like Spa with barriers, so it is definitely very high def. Can I play that vid? Says QT. The one that you sent me, I don't think I've got time, QT, and I'd have to load it up on my PC. So I think that might be a little bit beyond my capabilities right now, I'm afraid. Let me have a look and see if I can locate it for you, but I will have to then open it up in the correct places. Came through a little bit late for me, unfortunately. I'm going to have to download it first as well. I don't know if this is going to happen in time for you. Sorry, QT. I just need to see how long it is. 1 minute 46. I can try. I can certainly try for you. That's downloading right now, but I might have to pause it if the race gets underway, which I think it will do. My apologies for you. I did play the driver introductions at the start for you, though. We did see them, and I probably should have replayed them during this broadcast, during this pause, but I'm doing trying to manage several things at once. I could do with the broadcaster, I think. If anybody is watching, 10 seconds, says QT. If anybody watching with us is also in a team radio and there's something that you can share to do with contact, tyre management, anything like that, if you've got some data and some information from the Hector app, from the telemetry, and you wish to take part, then please go right ahead and put it straight on the live chat for us all. I'd love to hear from any team radio, anything. Obviously, don't give any strategy away, but yeah, we'd absolutely love to see and hear whatever you know from within your own teams, and you can make spurious claims about other drivers if you so wish. We are ready then to get underway. I'm going to just get the screen set up as quickly as I can for you, and we've got Beregoz. Sorry, we should have Vader on pole. Here we are into the race. Vader on pole position and heading off, and it's dropped the clutch and go. Boliday Fate joining him, but we've got a 3 wide situation happening further back as the drivers come through, and it's Vader round the outside. It is Boliday Fate down the inside and cycling through that treacherous turn 1. They go, and everybody making it through safely, including Tequila Monkey. But ahead of the field is Vader in P1, right on terms. Right behind him is Boliday Fay as they head down towards the bus stop. Vader defending heavily down to the inside on the way into the bus stop, as then the Kimmy's racing car of Arya is heading through as well. And we've got our first off-track excursion, and it's the JPI driver at the back there. And it was the Stig who went super wide, managed to avoid contact. What an absolutely perilous situation that was for the Stig as he goes flying, almost taking out his teammate and brother. What an awkward family dinner conversation that would have been as he gets battered from pillar to post coming through. But ultimately a landing safely enough. So the Stig back on racing action, and hopefully that's the end of his issues as they run through. The Buckstein cars fairly close together as Vicinity picks up the pace on the hard tyres, goes down the inside Vicinity into the tricky turn 9, and I think completes the move. He's still side by side. He's got the inside line, but it is the slower line through the corner, and the Buckstein driver Bijan, who is racing up from the back of the grid, holds on at this time and yanked the tank almost into the wall. I think did touch the wall on the way through, and now Vicinity has to play with Jogon Sim, who's got the inside line heading into turn 1. What an absolutely show-stopping start to the race. It looks like our drivers are through okay, but we do have one driver right at the tail of the grid, considering a restart safety car situation for them, but it's Jogon Sim and Vicinity making contact, trying to hold on too long through the S's that time, and they head back down again towards what is essentially the knee of the course around turn 5. But I'm concerned that we have a driver too far back. It's Senor Dude who has had to pit to fix damage, and he is a long way back off the grid. And I think if we were thinking about a safety car, it's certainly going to be something that Tequila Monkey is going to be weighing up here. The gap for Senor Dude and the initial contact there So I think it's very much in race control's hands as to whether they dispatch Tequila Monkey. But we do have a very large gap for Senior Dude and some damage that I'm assuming had to be repaired. For top three, Vader, Bolide Fate, and Beregoz. Arya chasing them down, but on the hard tyre. Looks like the mediums for the front three. So Arya, the first car on the medium tyres, and we've got QT in fifth position, surviving the bonsai run from the Stig through the bus stop and into the final corner they go. Be very wary when other cars are pitting in there. Soulshock in the middle, the meat of a yam-placked sandwich here. So and that he does enjoy a good sandwich, does Soulshock, and coming through in a big snap of the rear from the Stig, who is on the hard tyres and clearly struggling on those hard tyres at this stage. Bijan is 8th from the back of the grid. Vicinity touring at the moment in 9th place. And we've got Woe Grizzles right side by side with Jogon Sim. Down the inside they go. He'll be able to pick up a distant toe from the back of the Mega Driver of car number 42 Vicinity, and heading into the bus stop they go. And that is Woe Grizzle actioning a great pass through that sequence and ahead of Jogon Sim. Bedsty Mario, likewise, didn't qualify with us, so was at the back of the grid as he is out in 12th position right now. We've got Scavvy in 13th, and then suffering that first lap incident is Senior Dude for Coach Dave Delta Academy. I can never be sure whether to say the Delta in Coach Dave Academy, but I need some branding instruction from him as we get that information. But that is Senior Dude at the back of the grid. Tequila Monkey waiting in the pits, waiting to hear from race control whether that is in fact a worthy position for our safety car to come out. But Bolide Fate is 2 seconds away now from Vader. Remember, medium tyres for the top three, as you can use those curbs. It is officially off track, but the sim platform and race control allow it, except when you're battling. You can't be fully off on the curbs and then making an unsafe rejoin alongside another driver. Beregoz is in P3, excuse me. And there you can see the top three with Arya holding on to those hard tyres right now, very much on his own, as his teammate Soulshock has got past the first of the yam-placked cars. I wonder if we might better catch that in the replay. I think that was just the tail end of the pass there as Soulshock went through, and it now looks like the Stig has got past his teammate too. QT struggling on the medium tyres, surprisingly enough, as the Stig has got through past on the hard tyres. Not exactly what the team would be looking for in terms of racing order, but perhaps they feel like Stig can be a little bit more aggressive on those medium tyres at this stage, and he's certainly able to unlock some pace now that he's got that temperature sorted and in towards then the heel of the boot. If you sort of tilt your head to the right, you can imagine a boot and ankle and all sorts here at Watkins Glen. I'm not being facetious. It is genuinely known as the heel and the back of the knee. That's me. I think I made that one up. But Stig then through the penultimate corner, and you've got QT then in that 6th place. Bijan now starting to catch the cars in front, and it does look like Soulshock has headed out there. I think we've lost Soulshock, or he's pitted. He has pitted Soulshock into the pit. So I wonder if that pass from the Stig and Yamplack happened as a result of Soulshock having to go into the pits, or having an issue on track. He's not so far back that it looks like he's had a pit stop. But just to complete what I was saying before, that is Bijan catching the Yamplacked Interiors cars, who now needs to start working together and using the slipstream to piggyback speed off each other and try their best. Of course, no DRS here in SF23, but they do have push to pass on the screen. So let's just follow, shall we, with Vader momentarily, and we can put him on screen so you make sure you can see the leader and how he is progressing. Vicinity in 9th place, catching Soulshock now. Soulshock does seem to be struggling. No obvious damage on the car, and the same tyres on both drivers. Soulshock putting in a great qualifying pace, but perhaps having a bit of a Jarno Trulli moment right now, and holding up cars successively as Vicinity tries to keep the points ticking over for Team Mega as he heads up towards the back of Jogon Sim here, Soulshock, and looks for an opening down into the final corner. Certainly catching the toe. He's got Grizzle for Brokaga just behind him, and behind them is Jogon Sim. So great battle here over P8, and I'll just make sure that you can check out what's happening with Balafate or Bolide Fate, in fact, on the track as well. And can he still see Vader? I think Vader checking out 2.9 seconds. Vader's gap over Bolide Fate, and I'm looking for any close run drivers other than the ones that I'm watching at the moment. P12 is not showing well here for us on track. So I'm going to do my best. I should probably turn this off because I've got car info only on here, and it's showing the order. So I'm sorry about that. It shouldn't be showing anything. It should just be showing the car info at the bottom of the page. There we go. That's better. Oh, it's because I pressed the replay button, isn't it? So now we've got another Brokaga driver. It's Bedsty Mario getting an overtake done on Jogon Sim. I think that is. So let's see. It's Bedsty Mario who hasn't got Hector connected, I think. Racing. He's got the Mexico banner on the back of the rear wing as well. And just a great cutback there, going through what is the toe of the boot. And again, I'll have to make sure that I turn off the screen. I think we'll just try and get Hector a little bit more opaque, and then it doesn't matter what we're looking at. I think that might be the best result. Here comes Jogon Sim back again on Bedsty Mario. No way through just yet, but holding on to great sequence here. This is Jogon Sim we ride on board with, as the Brokaga cars not quite sure whether to cut across the front wing of one another or not. Not sure whether to use the overtake button or not, as Bedsty Mario gets through past Woe Grizzle. That's good teamwork, I think, going on there. And then a nasty snap from Joe, unfortunately. The top three at the moment, though, still Vader, Bolide Fate, and Beregoz. P1, 2, and 3, all on the medium tyres at the moment. We've got Arya in fourth, the lead hard tyre runner. And we are running very nicely at the moment. Everybody managing to keep this one running, as Scavi is down in 13th position, some 5.6 seconds away from Jogon Sim, but further back is Senor Dude, unfortunately, with that troublesome start in the order that he had, unfortunately. Let's have a look at P5. It's QT, who has now settled ahead of his teammate and brother, the Stig. QT wearing through the medium tyres now. So QT, I've got 56%. That's the lap distance covered, I think, that 56% next to his name. So let's have a look at QT. Should be streaming at the moment as well, and indeed he is. So while that is happening, let's drop through the order and see. This is teammate the Stig following him. Bijan in P7 for his Buckstein Transport Service car. P7 at the moment, up from the back of the grid, but the medium tyres will need a pit stop soon. Not feeling super confident using the curbs, these very, very low and very stiffly sprung cars, meaning that using those curbs is not quite as easy as you might see in the GT3, certainly, and possibly even the Adrian Newey designed Red Bull Junior cars for the AN1 division. Vicinity now in 8th after the pit stop earlier on, and the overtake there from Solshock. Not Vicinity's pit stop, I should mention, of course. Solshock starting to build some speed as well now for Kimi's racing team. He's in P9, and you've got Mario chasing him down too. Some decent gaps between the drivers at the moment, but of course the order will reshuffle once we've got a situation that means that the strategies are taking place, and everybody starts to shuffle around. Tyre wear starting to become certainly an issue for those medium runners now. Bedsty Mario here in 10th position is wearing that front left quite alarmingly, I have to say, at this stage. Perhaps needs to dial back the brake balance here to the rear of the car, try and get that running nicely. Joe in 11th. Well, Grizzle having some issues there, I think, early on, and it's really, really struggling now with that front left tyre. They have to use the medium and hard tyres, do our drivers. I think, given the tyre wear and lack of fuel usage here today at Watkins Glen, slightly cooler temperatures, I think. Certainly an overcast, cloudy day in New York State. And I think certainly we are having to be tire limited rather than fuel limited for the strategic options. And Grizzle, I think, is going to start struggling to turn right pretty soon, and he'll be getting terrific understeer through those corners, and I'm expecting a pit stop pretty soon from him. Bolide Fay pits from P2 and Beregoz from P3, so that should free up Arya, who manages to get up into P2. Vader going one lap longer, so that will sort of start to feed into the paranoia of Bolide Fay and Beregoz, who pit and get passed now by Yamplak, Cars, QT, and the Stig Bijan for Burkestein. It looks like Vicinity is about to come out of the pits in between the two of them, and he has teammate Bolide Fay in front. And is he just going to hold station here? I think he is. He didn't want to necessarily pass his teammate. We'll see if he decides to go for it here. It won't be necessarily popular among the team leadership, but he is team captain, so he can probably do what he wants. Vicinity is seemingly getting through here on the hard tyres, uses some boost to make that a simple situation because he doesn't want to get caught behind Bolide Fay while he's just warming up his hard tyres. He will be slower for this first lap or two on the hard tyres. And also, he's got plenty of fuel on board. Similar fuel levels for the two drivers, but car 42 moving ahead of car 92 for position at this stage for Team Mega, but things running pretty smoothly at the moment. Let's make sure that you're getting all the details that you can. I think Soulshock currently is mighty close, is he, to Bolide Fay here in P8. So there is Soulshock. The gap was fairly low, was lowish, I should say. As that now you can see Bolide Fay getting those tyres up to temperature, and is starting to chase down his teammate. He has a little bit more speed in the driver car combination with the setup going. 4 car 92 at the moment, and running then down towards turn 1 they go. That was quite aggressive from Bolide. He almost goes over track limits there for a moment on exit, and then the team go side by side, causing worry and panic, and also significantly slowing them down as they run through. Soulshock now with a fantastic run here can probably use the slipstream from the number 92 Mega Team car, and using, I think, a little bit of boost and a great line through the bus stop. First half, not so much on the second half, but he managed to get the move done. Nonetheless, so another good one then from Soulshock. Here he comes, moving past Vicinity, and quite an easy one. But then we'll have a look at this compromised line into the bus stop. Too much speed, and was leaving very little margin for error on the way out of that one, unfortunately, but managed to make it work nonetheless. Beregoz out on his new hard tyres, watched all that happen in front of him, and did so pretty calmly. As we've got now Bedstein Mario in P10, who I'm not going to get a feed from, obviously. And he dives down the inside of Vicinity. I think there was a little bit of contact there between the cars. Let's maybe replay that, and we can see this is Vicinity braking then into the heel, but then unexpectedly a pretty late dive bomb, definite contact between the two cars. We saw there, so we will see if a report is necessary to the stewards. QT is in the pit, so is Bijan, but at the moment we've got Beregoz. Let's ride with Beregoz, shall we? And we can see what he is looking at. Currently half a second only away from the car in front. That is Soulshock. This is Soulshock in the Kimi's racing car, Ferrari badged, but still a Toyota or Honda engine underneath the hood. Underneath the engine cover, I should say. Of course, no hoods on these cars. But round the outside tries Beregoz. That's a little bit of a risky one. But getting a good drive then through the shin. Can we say the shin? The front part of the heel. And then running through the toe. And Soulshock placing the car nicely on the way in to that heel. Beregoz trying to get the outside line working and does so in the end. Great overtake from Beregoz, and it took a little while, but he got there. A lot of patience needed for this move from Beregoz as he goes round the outside, and that was some fantastic braking action then for the kart. Hadn't quite finished the job as he heads then down towards the back of the knee and completes the move and gets through. So another great one from Beregoz. I'm sure he'll enjoy watching that one back. Vader leads Arya and the Stig. Can we see anything from Vader? Is he ready to pit yet at all? As we go and have a look at him here in the Coach Dave Academy kart. His medium tyre wear has been fantastic. Look at how much grip he still has left on lap 13 of 42. He needn't even pit this lap. He may do now that the other cars are on their new hard tyres and already starting to go a little bit faster. I thought for a moment with that camera angle that Vader had gone wrong, but I think there may be some slightly offline excursions there for a moment. I'm wondering if that means he goes in. No, he's taking a very wide line into the corners. No way you're going to make the pit lane entry as Vader then progresses through. 12.4 seconds ahead of Arya at the moment, but of course Arya not on the same strategy. Arya, another Canadian driver, going for a very large maple leaf on the front of his helmet. Hansa Blue says, "Go Team Mega." As Pat Finn says, "Play nice vicinity to the thing that happened earlier on." Gives us some lovely car sound. Can you not hear enough? So I can turn up the car sounds a little bit. But I have had some people say that too much car sound is detrimental, and they struggle to focus on the voice as well. And maybe that's a good thing. You'll have to let me know further on that one. Stig in third, yet to pit. Of course, he started on the hard tyres and is doing a tremendous job at the moment. Slightly sketchy first lap, but is holding together. They've got the Lamborghini engine badge here. Due to their choice of manufacturer in the GT3 division, also some Racimdo sponsorship as well, and are running around and putting in some great lap times at the moment as well. Some really good consistency, dropping those lap times lap after lap. In fact, from lap 9, he's got better and better every lap. His best though, a 25.8, but as the fuel comes off, the car feeling better at the moment, he'll go off into about 60% tyre wear, and then it suddenly will stop feeling quite so good. But we've got another fairly tight battle going on here. I think we've got Senior Dude in P12. I'll just join him on stream and have a look at Jogon Sim then. In 11th, we've got Senior Dude chasing him from behind. Further back then is also Grizzle. Remember, Senior Dude would have put a new set of tyres on earlier on, so he lost a huge amount of time, but actually catching, doing some great lap times here. 26.7 his last lap on those newer hard tyres. I imagine he probably brimmed the tank full of fuel just to give him the most flexible tyre strategy moving forward as well. But it's actually Grizzle who is slightly closer to Senior Dude than Senior Dude is to Jogon Sim at this stage. Around we go then the back of the knee. This is lap 14 of 42. The laps are ticking by incredibly quickly. Your order at this time, we've got Vader, Arya and Stig, with Vader still yet to make a pit stop in the lead of the race, starting on the medium tyres, and may even be thinking about a one-stop strategy here. We are getting pretty deep into this race for a set of mediums. If you take into account that the mediums should really, in theory, go twice as long as the softs. The hard tyres should go roughly twice as long as the medium tyres. He's in a very good position. Vader finally then pits from P1. Will we see Arya go through and pass him? No, Arya pits too off the hard tyres. Wow, Vader's tyre management and pace management throughout the race is quite astonishing when you think about where that puts him. Let's have a look at Scavvy and Joe, 10th and 11th. Senior Dude, though, definitely having plenty to think about with Grizzle directly behind him. Here he is. Try and get his stream up. There it is. Fantastic. So Grizzle, and then we should have Mario in 14th place. He is at the back of the grid at the moment, Mario. So there he is, just passing by in the Brokaga car. I'll just check out his car because I believe I didn't give enough screen time to Brokaga last time. So a really nice close-up look at the Brokaga car for you. Very nice design it is too. So terrific from the designer. Congrats for that. As Mario at the back of the grid, not showing on your timing tower, but he is on mine. So thankfully, all is well at the moment. Senya Dude, that moment where Grizzle was catching him has now passed. So doing a good job. Let's have a look if we can find Arya anywhere. He's in P4. He's just come out of the pits in front of teammate Soulshock. So that will be less complicated than it need be. Than it could be, I should say, for Kimi's racing team. Arya has come out and is some 13 seconds behind Boliday Faye and the battle for the podium. That's Soulshock having a problem coming out of at the very slow back of the knee corner, turn 9. Let's have a look. I'm sure he won't like me doing this, but here he goes, getting on the power in a moment. We turn left, and we're actually putting the power down on the marbles. And a nice little fishtail from him. But unfortunately, it's not a quick way to go racing. It looks good, but I think I'm probably still not going to give that a Webbo style point. If anyone is tracking the Webbo style points this season, that's probably not sufficient for me. Let's have a look at the battle down a little bit further for 6th, 7th, and 8th. This is Vicinity leading Beregoz and QT. That's Team Mega ahead of Delesi, ahead of Yamplakt, as Beregoz then on those new hard tyres has rear of the car damage. Something has occurred with Beregoz, unfortunately, and he's either backed it into a barrier or been hit from behind. QT no damage on his front wing. Usually you see corresponding damage on the front wing of another rival as they run through here for obvious reasons. But Beregoz then in P7 and car number 7. But it's QT in your inset picture, and his view of this run is he of course suffers understeer going through the heel of the boot, turn 8, and running through then. My apologies that the Gran Turismo timings on the right are somewhat obscuring our track map, but I'm afraid I would have to keep turning it off every time I hit the replay button if this was if we had this issue. So we'll see what we can do to try and make sure that we fix this in future. I think for now, if we can just remember that Mario is an addition to your race order at the back of the field. Here is Beregoz defending hard then. He doesn't really want to get past here at this stage, but QT going around the outside through the S's, and I'm sure is now fully ahead on the way into the braking zone, and a nice one then from QT as he comes out. Let's see how that went down. Just sufficient drive, and it's using the overtake button, so he's spending that overtake boost. So I'll perhaps not praise it too much because it was boost assisted, but of course all the drivers start with the same amount of boost, and it's all about how you tactically deploy that. And it looks like for him, he's decided he is losing time behind these cars at the moment. Time and time again, I see drivers so conservative with their boost that they actually end up with finishing the race with boost, but round the outside goes QT. Nice and comfortable there on the hard tyres that are far newer than Vicinity's. So just by way of explaining that difference around the outside, it's not such a gap in ability. It's that Vicinity is in a really difficult management phase of these hard tyres, trying to get through to a point where he can use the mediums shortly. And he's got about a third of a tank of fuel left on the car as well. Number 42, though, I think went over the exit curb too much. I think Beregoz is going to be having a much better run here, notwithstanding the fact that he's also got the slipstream and running very nicely. Is Beregoz, but he's only in P8 at the moment, having just been passed and picked up that rear of the car damage. I think some of his cornering ability is going to be affected by that, and his braking ability. Certainly the back of the car is going to be feeling very, very loose indeed until he can action a pit stop and get those repairs made that he needs to. We have heavy damage on the cars. So the drivers, and it's permanent damage, so they have to go into the pits and get that fixed. Delesi then, P8 at the moment. Boliday Fate in third. We've got Stig in second and Vader up in first position. Have a look at Stig's position at the moment and his tyre wear. He's managing those hards quite comfortably. Boliday behind him, who's already been into the pits, has front wing and suspension damage on the front left tyre. So another issue then for him. I wonder if that's anything to do with what happened with Beregoz, because that's the first car we've seen with front wing damage, as well as Beregoz's rear wing damage. Look back on the screen. I think that's Mario, who they've just lapped. And a risky braking action there for Boliday Fay, kicking up the dirt on two of his tyres. But there you go. So Ren's saying he loves the graphics. If it would now align with the OG list, we could directly see who is featured. Yeah, absolutely. I understand. I understand. But it's very difficult to get everything lined up correctly because we want to show all of our drivers instead of just 8 drivers on the list and the fastest lap. And the fastest lap less important to us at the moment. If we just make that more opaque, I think we'll be okay, and maybe stretch it a little to the right to cover everything. But unfortunately, when I press replay, everything comes back up, whether I turn it on or off. You can believe the order as Bedsty Mario gets out near the tyre barrier. You can believe the order on screen, with the exception of the final position, which I think should be Bedsty, or might be just that gap, that driver with the disconnection there. Into the pits then comes Boliday Fate, off the hard tyres, and we will probably see some front wing repairs as well, and Stig goes in as well. That means Arya comes through into second position and manages to get that undercut ahead. And I think he has gone on to a second set of hards, so committing to a 2-stop strategy, which I imagine most of the drivers will have to do, looking at the pit timings at the moment. Let's have a look. Where is Solshock on screen? Well, in fact, we've got QT. I'm going to go to him instead because QT is chasing down Solshock at the moment. Arya, Stig, your order, second and third. Now Solshock getting so close to the Stig on the way out. I wonder if Stig will feel like he can get the job done there. That is a late defensive move. That's a late attacking move from both of them, and they tangle. And they tangle again. They come to contact 3 or 4 times through that sequence. Let's have a look at that from the perspective, shall we? From a slightly different angle. This then from the Stig, who moved to the right. Solshot defended again, took the middle of the road. And then another nibble at the rear from the Jamplak driver as they come through, almost pitching Solshock into the barriers, unfortunately. But I think both drivers surviving at the moment. But Solshock has gone down to P5 as he's seeing double here as Jamplak driver QT comes alongside and goes through. Does he? They'll go side by side. You really can't muscle each other around in these SF23s. You get a wheel tangle or a front wing locking into a tyre, and you will pitch these cars round very quickly. So an adjustment needed for a lot of the drivers who have spent a lot of time driving road cars and GT cars, for making sure that the contact is avoided at all costs through here. We are a non-contact sport, especially in our downforce car divisions here at SVR. We're over half distance now. Boliday Fate has come out of the pits after his pit stop, well, obviously, and is behind Vicinity 3 seconds to the back. Pat says great racing by Stig and Solshock. He quite enjoyed that one then. All right, and Sandra loved the battle as well on screen. Okay, we like muscular overtakes then, do we, in the audience today? So, well, there you go. I was thinking it was a little bit over the line, but I will bow to my expert audience's opinion on the matter, and we'll hear from any stewards later on if anybody is reporting things. By the way, the drivers are driving using Hector. Hector isn't just an overlay AI. He is an audible AI interactive engineer for the drivers. I was using him throughout my race earlier on, that you can find on my stream, and you can hear the kind of responses that Hector gives. But the drivers are asking Hector things like, how are my tyres doing? In fact, why don't we see something from QT? What is QT interacting with Hector. Well, we've got a minute here. Here you can see on your screen. This is what he's been asking on here lately. He's been asked to be kept informed, I think, of the gaps to drivers around him. So tremendous detail there for what we can find out is going on with our Hector AI bot at the moment. Vicinity, Bijan, Pitts right now. Solshock has managed to keep it on the island at the moment in P5. Vader still leads us ahead of Arya and Stig. Boliday Phase in 6th place. Senor Dude. What a recovery so far from Senor Dude. I have to take my hat off to him at the moment. Yes, he pitted earlier than the other drivers, but he really has no business being anywhere near them, and has unlocked some terrific pace, has Senor Dude right now for the Coach Dave Academy, presumably using all the tools available to him as a Coach Dave driver and an S1 driver as well, getting that fantastic Coach Dave Academy telemetry assistance to make sure that he gets everything he can. That looks like Vicinity picking up a 1.5 second penalty. That won't be a pit lane exit line infraction. That is fixed at 3 seconds. I'm not quite sure what Vicinity got that penalty for, but he's come out in front of AI Hector bot author and father Beregoz, our flying Finn, in 9th, who has also only recently pitted for his second set of tyres, and I don't think has got enough fuel on the car here either to see out the rest of this race. We shall keep our close eye on Beregoz and that fuel load. The drivers racing to a fixed lap. That means they do get a little bit of assistance in the refueling. There's a little icon that tells them when to stop fueling when they have sufficient fuel for the remainder of a fixed lap race. It doesn't in a timed race. And Vicinity comes through then with an overtake on Joe Gonsim down the start finish straight. Rare place to see an overtake then, and Vicinity still then just trying to deal with the oversteer on the exit. Turn 1 is absolutely key to a good lap around here. Just ask Pat Finn how important that is. So this is looking really good. P9, 10 and 11, Vicinity, Joe and Bijan, as you watch QT and his driver eye view in the screen. Let's see if we can find anybody else. What is I wonder what Vader's doing with our AI engineer Hector. Again, he's asking what was my last time and then what was my love. I don't think that's what he's asking. I'm not sure Hector can quite tell what Vader loves, although winning, I'm sure, is a strong one. I know he's also got a penchant for Lego. But what is my love? He got the answer. Your fastest lap was a 23.9 seconds. I'm not quite sure that was the answer he was looking for. Let's see what Beregoz is doing as the author of Hector. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Beregoz hasn't used Hector at all. So he's I think he's got Hector wired directly into the brain with a microchip, so he doesn't need to be asking the question. This is tremendous, tremendous. I thought if anyone was going to be interacting with him, it would have been Beregoz. We've got Mario in 13th at the moment. That's the missing link on your tower right now. So that's what we're seeing at the moment. But Mario is in 13th position. And just underlining then quite how strong Senor Dude's recovery has been. Remember, he was some 23, 24 seconds behind the penultimate position on the grid, P13, and he's now made his way forward with that underlying speed. We're Grizzles at the back. Brokaga not having the best of days today, unfortunately for them. Let's go back up towards the front end of this grid. I say the front end. We've got goes to Vader, who is nice and far ahead. He's got a 12.5 second lead ahead of Arya, who's on a 14.7 second gap to P3. Those top three really have found a rhythm here and are disappearing Their biggest problem right now is getting past these blue flags as they sequence through the lapping period of the race. There is Stig, car number 35, and showing some fantastic pace this season. It's great to see drivers who lift their game from season to season and throughout the season, of course, as well. And as I say, I'm sure using Coach Dave Academy to the fullest extent here. Oh, just you see QT just not satisfied with the mud that's been scorched off the exit of the toe and trying to extend the track further lap by lap. Feeling pretty confident on those hard tyres at the moment. Got to be careful going over that yellow line and using the curb on the exit of the of turn 8. It will bite. Unfortunately, it's not a straightforward one. Have a look down at P10, shall we? Because I think Jogon Sim is pretty close to Bijan here. Jogon Sim on the sort of medium-aged hard tyres. Bijan, who's just pitted and come out on a brand new set of hard tyres. So I'm not sure that that we'll be seeing any major moves here. I'm just going to see if Joe has been talking with our with Hector. What is he saying? What is the gap to the car behind me? Unfortunately, Hector couldn't tell him the answer to that question, sadly. So I absolutely love the fact that Beregoz has coded it so that I can see what they've been asking. It's tremendous, absolutely tremendous. Now I wonder if Vicinity will have been interacting with Hector. Let's have a look, shall we? What has he been saying? Yeah, he has been. Of course, he has been. Can you tell me if anyone? And then can you tell me? I think he just wants information. He's not quite sure what information he wants, and thankfully, Vicinity has not gone to a meeting this week. Check out the previous stream for that one. It caused quite a bit of entertainment here in the Discord channel as well. Make sure though you can find your way if you are a VR driver and you feel like you want to take part in our tremendous league. You have the opportunity to join via the Discord. We are all over Reddit quite often, but there is a link to the Discord, I believe, on the YouTube homepage as well. So you can get yourself in, you get yourself VR verified. Only VR drivers can drive here in the VR Sim Racing World Championship. We have virtual thrills, but real glory for you. And we have fully sponsored corporate teams and franchises. You can see the Bergstein car and the Kimi's car in the foreground, Bergstein in the main set for the picture. And behind them, you've got the Delesi car of Joe Gon Sim. Bijan, I think, reserving here today, out of position and stepping up into the empty seat. And at the moment, showing a really good run in P9, just proving that he can drive most anything. I've been in plenty of casual lobbies with Bijan, and he's got some pretty incredible speed underneath him. Has he been using Hector at all? He has indeed. Let's have a look. So he's asked for motivational instructions about the gaps to the cars in front, and then you can see Hector telling him to close the gap. So Hector he's obviously asked Hector to be a little bit I don't know how quite to say it, but encouraging, perhaps. Not quite on the Helmut Marko scale of driver coaching, but certainly coaching his driver forward right now. So let's just check out Vader then, because this gap has opened out once again. Vader out in first position, as I mentioned. He's leading the race by 12.2 seconds. I think he's managing the gap here. I think, and his tyre wear and everything. His tyre wear was phenomenally low on the medium tyres. He came in the same lap, remember, as Arya did, running identical fuel loads and coming in at the same point. And you would always expect that Arya would have gone longer on his strategy. But medium and hard tyres have been used by Vader. Arya has only used the hard tyres twice so far, and is hoping to get through to, I want to say probably 15 to go, maybe 14 to go, something like that, which we are within to get the medium tyres to work. Although he is experiencing greater tyre wear than Vader, so I think might be looking for an opportunity just to use those medium tyres at the end of the race when he's light on fuel, and he can then push hard for the remainder I can see an A on his nose cone here on his livery, and I'm wondering. I don't think that is just vanity. I think that might be the old Azul Racing Team A for the car. You can see starting at the top, you got Kimi's A. It almost looks like an Avengers A, doesn't it? But I think that might be the old Azul Racing Team brand. He's snuck a sticker on here. So you can see the beautiful livery designed by Soulshock. Baby on board here for the unless that is just Arya's number and race number car number 14. I think it's an A and a 1 and a 4 all mixed up together. I think that's what's happening for him. It's nice. Sandra just confirming it's his logo. Thank you, Sandra. I did see Tequila, former teammate and reigning champion of this division. He's not performing this year in the SF23. He has decided to take his trophy and go and compete in the GT3 S3 division. And I did see he had put an Azul Racing team sticker on the back of his car quite naughtily. Oh dear me, Arya. Was he in two minds whether to pit or not, or is he trying to get the tow from the Brokaga car behind? That was a slightly strange one from him. Let's see if we can still catch that in the replay. Yeah, here he goes then. He went wide. I think that was just dirty tyre effect. That was dirty tyres. That was oversteer and so outrageously close to those huge bowsers of water on the pit lane entry point. But that was a very, very scary moment for our P2 driver, Arya, who came P2 in the championship last year as well, with some terrific work and amazing skill towards the end of the season. Really, really came good at the end of the season last season, but just missed out to teammate Tequila Monkey, who is, as I said, our reigning champion. This is the Stig in P3. He's opened up a huge gap to his teammate QT. Whoa! That was Boliday Faye in a huge accident. That's massive for Team Mega, and unfortunately, he has lost the car now in a big way. Let's ride with him. Is it under overtaking? He's gone to the inside. He's lost some aero. What on earth happened here? It was the inside bump in the third part of the bus stop. Unfortunately, would have further damaged the car there. Then couldn't get the car turned around. Oh dear me, that is absolutely heartbreaking. And he's got huge rear of the car damage. Thankfully, it's come before the final pit stops. But I just caught that in the corner of my eye, and a big moment for Boliday Faye. Unfortunately, there on lap 31. Beregoz then running in P6 at the moment. Boliday's dropped, put 2 behind QT as a result of that incident. Beregoz in P6, and we've got Vicinity in that P7. He's looking for a nice close gap on the field, and it's I've pretty much only got, I think, the gap between P9 Bijan and Soulshock in P10. Let's in P8, excuse me, and that is Bijan in your inset picture and your main frame as we run through. He did just kick up a bunch of dirt through the corner. Boliday is having to pit now, and he'll be hoping that with 11 laps to go, the medium tyre window is open. I'm sure it is for a final stint here, but the damage obviously too much for Boliday Faye. So for Team Mega, it's not looking like a mega day on the points haul from the SF23 S1 division for now. But we drop down to 10 laps to go now. Vader leads Arya, leads Stig for the top 3 order. Bijan with a purple sector here on the hard tyres, no less, as the fuel is wearing off. He's dropping the weight. Arya in the Stig pit as well, ahead of Vader once again. Vader might be looking at running a set of soft tyres at the end of this race. I wonder if he might get 6 or 7 laps out of a set of softs and try and go for the fastest lap. He's collecting all the achievements today, I think, with the pole position. He currently has the fastest lap at 23.9. Doesn't count for anything in terms of points here. And Sandra's saying, I think Arya has the Azul wings on his helmet. You just want me to go and look at Arya again, don't you? But that is Bijan. Then in P8, oh dear. Again, I thought he was catching Soul Shock, but he certainly let him off the hook there for a moment as he runs through. Behind him, we've got Boliday Fate after the pit stop. Fully repaired car. Got enough fuel, hopefully, for the end of the race. Just a quarter of a tank, slightly less than a quarter of a tank in P9 then. And a big job ahead for car number 92 to try and catch and pass his rivals in front and get some more points for Team Mega. Senor Dude, we've got a Coach Dave car at the front. We've got a Coach Dave car here in P10 at the moment. Senor Dude, bit of no man's land, not very close to a car in front or behind. Behind him is Jogon Sim. And then we have Scavvy, Wo Grizzle, and Mario in the number 53. He's been given a blue flag right now as well. Let's see who that is for. Looks to be for a Delesi car. And back to Vader leading, who's still stretching the envelope of acceptable track limits there, kicking out some nice dust out of his tyres. There's nobody to eat it though, unfortunately. He's so far ahead. Now with those pit stops, 39 seconds ahead of Arya and Stig, but with one pit stop, I'm assuming here, left to make, although nothing would surprise me at this point with with Vader's performance. Number 23 driving the wheels off this SF23 today and really showing the rest of the grid exactly what they need to do. And it is absolutely not on his seat to slow down for the rest of the field. Everybody, the onus is on them to speed up. Very well, we are going to have a close-up look at Arya then and try and have a look at the helmet. Unfortunately, because of the... no, I can just about make out. I'm getting very, very close to my screen right now, but I can just about make out the wings, I think, certainly on one side anyway, with the maple leaf. They're a little bit... they're quite subtle, but I think they're there. I think you're right, Sandra. Thank you. I hope your race went well as well, Sandra. I don't want any spoilers, but I hope your race went well, and I will call the race as I see it when I do the replay later on in the week. But Arya running in that second place, closing the gap though. That is a 3-second gain to Vader on these new medium tyres with low fuel for Arya. Is there a question mark over Arya's fuel load? Well, Stig's gone for the same amount of fuel, so I think it's okay. Beregoz, 4th position at the moment, and I think probably was hoping for a little bit more out of the first couple of races here, Beregoz. But running 4th place, 20 seconds away from Stig's 3rd place. Older hard tyres on for him, maybe trying to run to the end on a 1-stop. But it looks like for some of our drivers, a 2-stop has been the way to go. We've got potentially some moves coming. Vicinity here, half a second, slightly less, away from Senor Dude. Vicinity out on a new set of medium tyres. Perhaps overfueled in comparison to the cars we were looking at earlier in P2 and 3. But this is Vicinity. Let's see if he's had anything else to say to... Ooh, hello. So, he said, can you tell the race director that fuel refueling rate may be wrong? So he's reported a question mark about the refueling rate. Now, I know it's quite slow, but yeah, he's not very happy about how long his fuel man took to refill the car. I suppose it could be a fuel woman as well, but typically it's a pretty heavy piece of equipment, and it tends to go to the bulkiest member of the grid crew. For the engineer team. But yeah, it's Vicinity seemingly not happy with the refueling rate set here to date and questioning at least whether that has been listed in error. So obviously we will get some clarification if we can on that one. And then, wow, there was grass everywhere across the racetrack as he runs in towards the toe of the boot here at Watkins Glen. Driving a beautiful race at the moment, and just 1 second now behind Senor Dude. Senor Dude has to be, I think, Driver of the Day nomination here. You can let me know. It might be a good time to nominate a Driver of the Day, but I would think Senor Dude has got a very strong case there in P9. He's got fuel, he's got tyres, I think, to the finish with the remaining maths, 6 laps. Ooh, maybe not on those medium tyres, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Stephen Salen, Dirtbag Larry says, get him captain for Coach Dave Academy. And that is Vader there at the head, and Senor Dude as well. I'm sure that that he'll be splitting his driver of the day vote between the two drivers. There would be a good case for both of those for sure. Let's see if there's anybody any closer. This is the closest battle on the grid at the moment. I'm going to have a look to see what our drivers are doing with Hector as well. Any news from QT? This is just gaps. I imagine he's been asked to be updated once a lap, every lap, for the gaps to the car ahead. They have varied fairly wildly for him. Let's have a look at Senor Dude. Has he been doing anything with the driver chat here? Just about gaps again, and then asking who's in first place. So asking for his team positioning there. Absolutely love to see this. Pat Finn says 1 vote for Bijan as driver of the day. Reserve driver with 4 laps gain, 4 positions, I presume you mean. There he is. Great driving. I think that's fair. At the moment, we've got Senor Dude and Bijan as Vader now pits from the lead of the race with 12 litres of fuel to go and just 5 laps. What chance do we see some soft tyres going on to Vader's Coach Dave car, I wonder? Let's just have a look at him in set. And you'll know then. This is probably the best way of knowing the tyres the drivers are on. But I was a little bit late. I think that is soft tyres on Vader's car. I think he's gone for it. He has. Brilliant. Love it. And he's got lots of overtake left as well. Arya's nabbed the fastest lap of the race at the moment at 122.667. But Vader, I think that's going to disappear pretty quickly. He'll use this lap to prepare the car, and then I think he's going to go for it. Now, remember, in qualifying trim, those tyres were not lasting much more than 2 fast laps. And even then, you had to be incredibly careful on your outlap. I don't see Vader doing the same. Of course, slightly less fuel. They have to burn the fuel off for qualifying. Slightly less fuel on the car for Vader at the moment. But yeah, currently going to be going for a fastest lap attempt. And I will leave him as the driver in focus while that happens. Let's have a look. Tell me he hasn't been asking he hasn't been asking who's leading the race. Who is 1? The driver in position 1 is Gabor. Wow. I presume that's Vader. And then asking about gaps to the driver behind. I think, though, that would have been driver behind being lapped, unfortunately, for Vader. So I'll leave him, as I say, inset in the picture. And I'll just go and have a look, see if I can find anybody else. I think Vicinity might be going quite quickly right now. Here he is. In fact, there's a purple sector for Vicinity on the new medium tyres as he hunts down the Coach Dave car in front of Senor Dude. And he would love to finish that extra place ahead, especially as Bola de Fate has had a big accident today and had to go into the pits and get some repairs actioned. How is Vader doing? Remember that fastest lap still, Arya 122.6. Vicinity doing his best here to challenge, and he might still have the opportunity to go on the lowest fuel at the end of the race and push harder than perhaps Vader can. He's also used quite a bit of his boost, has Vicinity at the moment. So where is Vader on track right now? Trying to see where Vader is. He's only just gone past the pit lane. I think that's 8% of the race track. No, that can't be right. 8%. I think that's fuel remaining. So, but yes, purple sectors for Vader at this stage, as Vicinity is still close within that 1 second window of Senor Dude. Just enough to pick up some understeer, I think. There's a new fastest lap from Vader is a 120 to 0.744. Remember, Arya's was a 22.7. Vader has just gone 2 seconds faster using all of his boost and a brand new set of soft tyres. But still, wow, something quite incredible from Vader. Just making sure that the drivers know who's boss, I think, today. Great to see Hector working this whole lap, as currently leader is on lap 40 of 42. and scattering grass across the surface, coming out of turn number 7 was the car in front of Vicinity. Senor Dude, as some of the guys in the chat here are saying, that was crazy. Stick about to go P2, says Biggerwood. Not quite sure. What is the push to pass level of the drivers? Can I show? Yeah, I'm sure I can. I have to turn this off, unfortunately, but you can have a look if you like. Very little push to pass left on the Sticks car. He's certainly not about to get P2 at the moment, Biggerwood. This is just Biggerwood lying to me, as he frequently does, to try and and wind me up, I think. But it's the kind of thing you do to a driver you can't overtake. But anyway, Arya in second position is some 13 seconds ahead of the Stig, who has basically no push to pass left. And same deal with Beregoz in fourth place. QT, very little. I think Vader has got more than most, and Arya's got a fair amount left as well. The Stig pits from P3. He might think he's got a free pit stop here, and we'll see what happens. He didn't have enough fuel to finish the race and had front and rear damage, did the Stig. So I wonder if perhaps Biggerwood was saying that that was the situation, that they were close, and then he's hit the barriers. But he's lost a position. That wasn't an optional free pit stop for soft tyres. Stig from P3 is currently P5, and Bolide Fay might actually even pick up that position from him. Bolide Fay, virtually no boost, very little fuel remaining on the car as well. And coming through then, car number 92, and he will come out in just behind the Stig, some 6 seconds as things stand at the moment. Most drivers have used their overtake. Senor Dude is using it quite a bit right now on this lap. Vicinity completely emptied the tank. Jogon Sim ahead of Scavvy. That is, I think, Arya passing Jogon Sim to put a lap on. Scavvy and Bijan 11th and 12th for Buckstein. It's definitely not been the day to be green. It's not easy being green, and for both the Buckstein and the Brokaga cars, it has been a real challenge. Vader starts his final lap of the race. And I think we probably, well, there's no real gaps to monitor too closely, except for teammates. Look at Vader around the outside there. That is quite astonishing line through the corner as he stretches the limit of Gran Turismo's track rules there. And he's doing it all the way down as well. Not worried about these soft tyres lasting. Vader's on his final lap and just wanting to set another new fastest lap of the race. I don't think it's possible when your front left looks the way it looks at the moment, but he's still doing his best. So just a few corners left to go now, as he will take a tremendous lead in this championship. 2 races on the bounce potentially. Through the penultimate corner he goes. Vader, team captain of Coach Dave, our Spaniard racing driver, completes another victory with a tremendous dominant win in Watkins Glen. What a tremendous run from Vader that was. And Arya is some 14, nearly 15 seconds behind him coming through. We'll hope to try and pick up the fastest lap at the end, but when Vader did that on softs, I think there's absolutely no hope whatsoever. That wasn't Beregoz crossing the line. Beregoz is 35 seconds further back from Arya, who's got a P2 then on the line. So looking very good. Last chance then, guys, to get your driver of the day votes in. I think I'm going to go with Senor Dude at the moment, but I will be overruled if you've got more more votes for Bijan or other people. Indeed, maybe even Vader, but I think Vader could do without achieving absolutely everything today. Beregoz, our flying Finn, with a Mika Hakkinen helmet, crosses the line in P3. He'll be more than happy with that, I'm sure. And QT and the Stig finish together across the line in 4th and 5th for Jan Placht Interiors. Bolide Fay is going to come through to pick up a scarred and battered P6 in the end. Another good performance overall, and Solshock in 7th place, I think, would be really happy to get 2nd and 7th for the team. Vader has turned off his his Twitch stream already. He's gone. He's finished so long ago, so I'll take that off the screen. Senor Dude in 8th. Great, from the back of the grid and many seconds further back as well earlier on. Vicinity couldn't quite catch him, but picked up points in the end. what a tremendous S1 race that was. And I'll just check in with the live chat as to whether we've got anything. I think we could do with something on the back of Vader's overalls, because I think we're going to be seeing that picture quite often. This then is your provisional result prior to any why have I gone to complete brain fade at the moment? This is before we get any stewards' inquiries or results afterwards. And of course, subscribe to the channel and you will get all the steward decisions fully explained as well. Vader wins ahead of Arya and Beregoz. Vader with a lap nearly 2 clear seconds in front of the next fastest Stig. Arya in second, Beregoz in third, with QT in fourth. Stig in fifth, Boliday Fate, Soul Shock and Senor Dude. How about that for a world championship featuring drivers from all over the world already, which is great. Not a single Brit in the top 8, unfortunately, but Vicinity does finish in P9. Joe Gonsim, the first of the USA drivers, there in 10th place with Scavy in 11th. Bijan in 12th. Very strong performance from Bijan, absolutely, to finish in that position. Grizzle in 13th. Mario finishes in 14th. We thank Tequila Monkey for his stint in the safety car, but a tremendous run from everybody. Thanks everybody for all the kind words and for subscribing to both channels, both SVR Racing here today and my channel Webber Red 5 as well. And we really appreciate all your support. Stay tuned to the channels for more racing, and of course, same time, same place, same time, different place next week for S3, the DT1 division. Thanks everybody. Really appreciate you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next race day.